and welcome back to another episode of the Finn and G podcast, the home of Dysfunctional Rugby League. As always, well, not as always, because she's missed an awful lot lately, but
2.
You've missed 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, but...
Oh, but wait, let me guess exactly what you're going to say before you say it. But one of those wasn't a scheduled episode, so technically I've only missed 2.
Yeah, it was.
So, it's good to have the gang back together. See, even the high five is that needs a bit of work. How you been?
I've been good. Been busy.
Yeah, what you been doing?
I've been at placement at university. I'm at Wollongong Hospital on the rehab ward.
Yeah, how's that been?
It's been good. It's been quite it's been a lot more emotionally draining. We've had a lot of cancers and not great prognoses, and a lot of young people. So we just had another one come in today, but the other OT took it because it's just been a bit emotionally draining. Those cases are quite hard and confronting. So
You haven't getting any fevers?
no,
Any people coming in with fevers?
scabies. The district-wide outbreak. What do you mean by fevers? I don't have.
Well, you said scabies.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Is that the code for it?
No, it's the disease.
For the fever?
It's the disease. I don't have a fever.
So no one's coming in with finals fever?
Oh, doesn't make sense. Sure. No one really cares about football there too much.
Anyway, so I've been good. Yeah, look, it's great. Again, great to have that just classic chemistry back, that back and forth, the battle of the minds. It's great to have you back. We've really missed you here. So look, get straight into it. For the first time in quite a while, I actually won this week in the tipping.
It's so exciting.
It is. You know, I want to thank you guys, the audience, in taking responsibility.
Do you know the worst thing is?
What?
I literally told you to tip like this from round 8.
No, you didn't, because round 8 I was winning, idiot.
Yeah, and you was like, I'm going to keep doing all these things. And I was like, you should just continue to tip, like, responsibly.
No. So the thing is, one of us has actually sort of put the effort into this, and the other person just shows up, I guess, seemingly of late when it suits them. Now, obviously, not going to say which one's which. You can figure that out for yourself.
Well, it was your idea, and I'm just here because your voice is draining.
So I guess we've figured it out. Thanks, Sherlock. So look, again, and you would have missed this because, again, we all work. So last week...
it was also my birthday.
So, happy birthday. So last week, the audience and I, we went on a bit of a journey, and we sort of come to the realization and the acknowledgement that, and it goes both ways, is that potentially the reason for my slump was largely due to the audience, and they, again, special shout out to Josh, publicly taking acknowledgement and ownership of that, and I've done my part as well, let's not forget that, in that I was trying to please the audience by tipping bold, and that bit me in the ass spectacularly. But it wasn't actually because I can't tip. It was just because I was intentionally
But what happened
sabotaging.
last year when the exact same thing happened and we didn't have a podcast?
Well, I was planning for it. So that was just pre-production. And now, I guess when I tip responsibly, I get the chocolate. So the late comeback is still very much in play. But you have to question, if I had have kept that mindset, I probably almost certainly would have won the Eels and Dragons.
Yeah, but you would have gone
it's
other
like,
bad
so
teams.
It's like, in one hand, it's like, well, hey, that perfect round went begging. Neither here nor there. 6 out of 8 versus 5 out of 8. So, hey, good, not great. Sucks to suck. But
so the cockiness is back.
yeah, look, so again, the comeback's on. It is so fucking on. It's not even funny. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
The bipolar in you is insane.
The only difference, the defining game this week was the Sharks vs Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I really thought the Rabbitohs were going to do better.
Didn't even see 1 second of it, but I'm not surprised because while the Sharks are a toilet team, the Rabbitohs even worse. The Sharks are a toilet team. The Rabbitohs are like a drop team. What do you call them?
I don't know.
The toilets where it's just a hole in the ground.
A drop pit? I don't know.
Well, they're that. They're that. The Sharks are at least made of porcelain. That was the only difference this week.
I was very shocked by the Eels and the Dragons win, I must add. I would not have tipped them.
See, I didn't tip them, but I'm not shocked by either. The Dragons, for example, you know,
How can they just get absolutely pumped by Penrith and
that's
then
what they
beat
do.
the Storm?
They're the most consistent, inconsistent team this year.
Yeah.
They've proven they can beat anyone. They've already beat Penrith this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anytime, they're almost like, they're a bit similar to the Dolphins. It's like every time you think they're going to win, they lose. And when you think they're going to lose, they win. So in a game against Penrith, we both thought they could upset Penrith. Got pumped. So of course you're going to naturally think, well, shit, they're playing Melbourne and Melbourne. They haven't won there in 25 years. It's going to be a bloodbath. But then you've got to remember, this is the Dragons we're talking about. Of course they can win that game. That's just what they do. And guess what? Next week, who do they verse? Oh, they verse the Bulldogs. So a tight game. But if the Bulldogs win 60-0, I, for one, will not be shocked.
No.
I will be more shocked if they win that game. I'll be more shocked if it's competitive than if they get pumped. They're incredible.
I just don't get it. I am very disappointed in the Wars, though.
The Warriors, again, when you think of it, it's like, the problem with the Warriors this year is they fucking hate playing in New Zealand.
Yeah. And they have the biggest crowd.
Sold out every game this year. One of the most loyal fan bases there is. Again, I think they've played 5 home games this year, 5 sellouts. Let's get pumped by last place. And they scored they only got to 20 in the last 10 minutes. It was 30-4 with 15 to go.
It's just they're just such a disappointment. Like, both them and the Knights.
Well, it's the second year syndrome.
Well, and Broncos too. But everyone thought that the Wars were going to do well and the Knights weren't. Yes, they did at the beginning of the year. They said they were unsure about the Knights and we were unsure about the Wars.
Yeah.
And we were right.
Lots of people were unsure about the Wars. Yeah, it was one or the other. If you're thinking one's going to miss the 8, people most thought it would be one or the other. I mean, yes, I was obviously more confident on the Knights. Hard to tell which one's been more disappointing, to be honest. I think they're fucking like 12th and 13th. So it's...
Your Knights to win the comp tips looking real.
But when they do, how good will it be?
But yeah, if you waited to put it on now, you'd earn a lot more money.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was confident. But look, you know, that was it. The rest's pretty bog standard. And yeah. We'll just get straight into it. I'm looking at the thing. Yeah, straight into it. The Tigers defeated by the Cowboys 30-18 Thursday night football. 30-48. My apologies. The big talking point from this game was the send-off for Justin Olam. Justified or not?
I don't really see it. It was definitely a sin bin, but I thought it kind of bumped up. I thought it was below shoulder. I thought it was below head height, personally. But in all fairness, I've really been on the Olympics, so
yeah, it was tough.
I haven't really been watching many footy games when I can watch us win gold in the swimming. Now that that's finished, we're not going to get as many golds. I might come back. No,
USA's already shot the first.
Yeah, so I might come back to the footy, but man, was I on the Olympics.
Yeah, it was a fun week. It was a fun week. But yeah, this week was tough. Again, you got Olympics, and then we're out Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
On Friday, you had family dinner.
Oh, yeah. Fucking had 3 dinners this week, you know.
It's tough.
So, yeah, honestly, I didn't watch a single one of these games.
This is going to be a short and sweet
it's
episode.
It's going to be probably not the most analytical. The most of a game this week, I watched about 30 minutes of the Bulldogs game. I didn't watch any of the Knights game, any of the Rabbitohs game, any of the Melbourne game. I watched the Titans game. Mm-hmm. We watched the second half of the Dolphins game.
Yeah, we watched the second half.
None of the Tigers, none of the Eels. So,
no,
yes.
You watched the one in the car on the way home from netball on Thursday night.
Oh, again, like the second 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And also, it was the Tigers and Cowboys. So, with all due respect, wasn't paying, like, the most attention to it. But the key...
But, like, why would you watch that when you could watch Arnie Titmus win in the 400 or us win so many gold medals or Katie Ledecky?
Well, or even more precise, why watch that when you could just turn your phone off and watch nothing at all?
It's a bit brutal.
Well...
I'd rather
I
watch
think
the
it's
Olympics.
warranted personally.
I also, girl power, still only got one male gold medal. Woohoo! Girl power.
That's incorrect.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. We haven't got another men's gold medal.
Yes, we have.
Who?
Well, we had Cam. And
That's it.
No, it's not. I'm positive.
Oh, no, we had the men's doubles.
Idiot.
So two men gold medals, because that only counts as one. That's it. I'm pretty positive that's it. But anyway, girl power.
Very hard to find, but I'm
Go the
sure
girls
we
for
won
me.
it. I'm sure I saw
I
another one.
know.
But yeah, obviously the women have been killing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like fuck, it is so great to have just this chemistry, just back, 3.5 years, and it shows. We're just so in sync. I say, it's better watching nothing at all. But yeah, a bit of a thing, and then your response is, well, no, I'd rather watch the Olympics, and it's just that classic banter, and that let us know. But I think that's what keeps the people coming back, or potentially turns them away. I don't know.
Well, I think it does, because the viewer listeners on your
Hey.
episodes, not great.
Okay, that's a strange time to have a peek behind the curtain. This episode's about to get taken off the record.
It's pretty quick from me.
That was
Not gonna lie.
that was good for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, look,
Into this week's games.
yeah. So look, the big takeaway from this, yes, as we said, the Olam send off. I did actually catch that live. I thought it was harsh.
I thought it was harsh. I thought he bumped up from the shoulder.
See, listening then to Bloke in a Bar, they swear there's an alternate camera angle where you see it's clearly on his head. I didn't
see it.
I didn't have the chance to see that replay. It doesn't shock me.
But he stayed on the field. He didn't have to come off. So how was
apparently
it?
he did come off. But
Oh,
when we were
okay.
watching, he didn't. So it was delayed.
It's not like it
didn't
was a
come off straight
Reece
away.
Walsh, an Origin kind of.
No,
hit.
but then it's hard because you can't ref based on
Their reaction,
reactions.
because that's what we're saying.
Exactly.
That
'cause that's
people are
not,
doing.
that's not fair. And
So, I
it's
mean,
hard-
if it's a head high, it's a head high. But I just think if it was any other team, it would have been on report. But because it's the Tigers, they got sent off.
I disagree, but I agree. The Tigers, I mean, their problem isn't the tackle. Their problem is their discipline. Because, again, it's just another example of ill discipline.
Yeah.
Because you go, he doesn't need to put on that big shot.
No.
He's also the shorter guy on the taller guy.
How did he get up that high?
Regardless of whether he directly connected with the head or not,
It's a careless tackle.
It's
It should have been
careless.
in the bin.
it was
Regardless.
It was definitely a sin bin. Again, I haven't seen the angle that
But
makes me send off.
It
I'm not
actually
shocked.
did the Tigers better because they
scored three tries afterwards. Which is, again, so honestly, this game is worse for the Cow. Like,
Worse for they won by 18 points, but they let the Tigers score 30 points with 12 men.
I'm sure they scored 3 tries with 12 men. Like, that isn't...
The Tigers, the bottom of the table, and the
Not
Cows are
good.
in like the top 8.
Just when you think they're hitting form, like, you gotta... Yeah, just...
You can't let the Tigers score that many points.
Well, again, it's just how they scored the points. Because, again, they scored 28 against Melbourne.
I know, but they were good tries.
It's how they score the points. Again, they didn't score those points with 12
No.
men. But again, it's at the same time, I think in that period, the Tigers let in 3 tries.
Yeah.
They're the most sin bin team all this year. I just feel terrible for Benji because
I know,
you're not coaching this discipline.
Discipline.
Like, they're just...
It's like this is basic stuff that they all know, and they're just not doing it. I mean, because their skill-wise, their plays have improved massively.
That's the tough thing.
They've improved so much. Their team, last year, if they had the ball in their attacking 20, it looked terrible. They never looked like they were going to score.
Yeah.
Now they look like they have scoring opportunity. They look like a unit.
Yeah, they've unearthed Galvin, they've unearthed De Silva, they've unearthed Finu. Like,
Appy's got some people to play with.
Apu, Bole, like they're so much better than last year, but the results aren't showing because they're disciplined.
Yeah.
You can't teach discipline.
Yeah.
Like, you can't teach stupid. And they just play the dumbest football I've ever seen.
So
I've
dumb.
never seen a more ill-disciplined team.
But then you get people like Appy, who was sin binned for literally like nothing.
Yeah, but again, like, the professional foul, there's levels of sin bins.
Yeah.
There's levels. They have the most just brain explosions
Yeah.
one as possible. Yeah, a professional foul is different because
Yeah.
you were doing that to save a try. Like, everyone gets that.
Everyone gets a
that doesn't really even
professional
count.
No.
If if it's a professional foul because you're stopping try, that no one really counts that. but they might have just
They've had
careless
bad
tackles or like just dumb professional fouls, like just stupid ones.
Yeah.
There's one thing, holding on to play the ball a little bit long to let your team get back, and then just intentionally taking a guy out.
Yeah.
They've done a few of those. Like,
It's just dumb.
anyway, next game, the Warriors versus the Eagles. We already touched on it again.
Did we touch on that the Cows have told Val that he can look elsewhere? Did you touch on that last week?
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard that because not only we not hear you clearly, apparently didn't have 40 minutes in your day to listen back to it. But no, yes, we touched on that.
Okay.
You know what? Let's mix it up. As we talk, say the notes from if there's key news from the game, and just quickly before we get in the Warriors game, key note from the Tigers is it's official. Stefano, the cat's out of the bag. He is gone.
Oh, yes.
3-year deal
Gonskis.
inked with the Storm. Easily the best decision of this young man's career.
Wonder who's going to replace him.
Oh, they have young forwards.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't name them, but they have young forwards. Again, Campbelltown is like they have one of the biggest junior bases in the country.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, Campbelltown really is massive. The problem with the Tigers is always Campbelltown,
No one really wants to stay there.
Balmain. Are you the Balmain Tigers? Are you the West Magpies? Or we're the West Tigers? It's no. Just make it one. Just Campbelltown, that's your area. Don't leave it.
Yeah.
Their problem is they're spread. It just where Penrith have the biggest junior base and they own it.
Yeah.
The West Tigers are probably on home with the second biggest base.
Yeah.
Don't own it.
No.
Just like the Dragons. Illawarra rugby league is a monster. It is a huge junior base.
Way better than Cogra.
Yeah. The Illawarra rugby league is massive. The junior is massive. But they don't hold on to that.
Yeah.
I mean, so many juniors that pop everywhere else. Knights are notorious for it. Knights are notorious for their same as Tigers. Their best players go to other clubs. Their best players never play for them.
Yeah.
Just silly, but yeah, so awesome. It's a loss for the Tigers, but in fairness, he's not. People don't. He doesn't. He has the potential, but he's at the Tigers.
Yeah.
Quite hard to show it. Clearly, doesn't have the best guidance around it.
No.
At Melbourne,
He'll get good guidance.
he'll turn into a star. He just will. Like,
and he'll have the discipline like with Craig and
again, he'll
get
the best mentorship, the best guidance, the best coaching.
and he'll get put in his place,
Oh yeah, he's coming, big fish in a little pond to little fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
So
He'll have to earn game time and everything like that.
Oh, he will. And
So it'll be great for him.
It'll be great for him, and it's perfect for Melbourne.
Yeah.
A big boy, all due respect, we've got battlers in our forward pack.
Where's Big Nas going?
Apparently, we're giving him the flick. He has been very disappointing this year. He's had injuries and stuff, but
He was disappointing
been
for me for the
disappointing.
moment that you guys played Penrith.
Oh,
Because for me, he cost you the
he
game.
lost us the final. That final last year, he lost us.
And because Penrith just knew that he'd get rolled up and they just smart and they just attacked him.
4-0 until the point that I can't remember if he got sin binned or just gave away a
He
stupid
got
penalty.
sin binned. Yeah, he gave away like a stupid penalty and then got sin binned, and that was like the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was 4-0 at that point, and then I think after that it was 34-0 for Penrith.
Yeah. It's like he cost you, you saw the momentum and then you guys just couldn't get it back.
You see it in rugby. You can't, when a team has momentum, especially a team like that.
And then he came back on, but then he kept doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It was that was a hard game for me to watch.
Yeah.
No, I don't even like Melbourne, and I was disappointed.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
I don't know. Hopefully we keep both, but anyway, it's great for Melbourne. It gives us a young guy in the front row who isn't a battler, can be that explosive.
yeah.
Melbourne can turn him into a Tino or Payne Haas.
Oh yeah.
That's the potential.
Yeah.
He can turn into that. So, and we have a proven track record of guys coming from the Tigers exploding. Adokar, no one knew him at the Tigers. Best winger in the comp in Melbourne. Pappenhausen, no one knew him on his day, best fullback in the comp at Melbourne. Sean Bloor, no one knew him at the Tigers. This year started almost every game, being one of the most consistent back rowers in the comp.
Yeah.
So
There's
Stefano,
just so many people,
you know.
so many players that they've developed. Just such a good development
Again, we're
system.
fucking turning Josh King into
I
a star.
know, you hated him for a while.
I don't mind him, but he's just a battler. Again, he's not explosive. But again, now all of a sudden he's fucking putting in grubbers, set up tries.
Yeah, I know.
Josh King, all due respect, like it's
Grant
again
Anderson,
Grant Anderson,
who like was your number one hitman, and now
he
he's your boyfriend.
He was Melbourne's number one thing. He easily most improved in the comp, but even every single person agrees.
I know.
Just this year.
Him or who's the other
exploded.
person that we said? We're watching a game. Was it Oz, the winger for the Titans? The number 5. The guy that did all the tapbacks in the Titans game versus the Broncos.
I didn't say him, but yeah, shout out Jojo Fafita, career game. I can't remember. There was someone that said
I
that,
can't remember who it is. Corey Oates.
yeah, Corey. But anyway, look, that's good. Moving on to the next game, as we already touched on, Warriors absolutely love letting down the home crowd. It's a battle between them and the Knights. Like, who loves it more? Who loves selling out a stadium and then just going, hey, we're not going to show up? Honestly, could you imagine that battle?
Or the Broncos this year.
Fuck, I would love a game. You know, it's obviously logistically impossible. I'd fucking love 40 minutes at Mount Smart Stadium. Second half, McDonald Jones. You know, like, just see what happens. Half time
So
in New Zealand is
interesting.
30-0 for Knights. Second half, bring it home, packed
30
out.
all.
30-0. Then you have the fucking, just go to a core stadium for the extra time.
Oh, it's just, I don't know. I know the Broncos are out of finals contention now, but do the Wires still have a chance, or is that them like done?
They
It's just so disappointing.
They'll have
they had
to go-
so much potential.
they'll have to win every game.
So much potential, and SJ is just.
Well, you look at
if
you look at the live ladder, they sit in third. See, the thing that could help them is that they one draw this year with Manly, so that's what's helped Manly. So Manly are in 27, instead of 26. Warriors 21. So they're in 13th place at 21 points. Mm-hmm. Knights at 22nd. The 8th place right now is the Dragons on 26.
Go the Dragons.
And this was the perfect round for the Dragons because they won. The Dolphins lost. The Raiders lost. The Knights lost.
It can change
the
so
Warriors
quickly.
lost. The Broncos. Every single team that was around them lost. So now they are a game clear.
Yeah.
The buffer's gone now. So if you look at it, from Broncos are on 20, they're out of contention. They're out.
Did not see that coming.
No. You know, the only way they could possibly make it is basically every top 8 team would have to lose every game. They'd have to win it. They're out. Warriors are on an absolute thread.
Ugh.
Because not only will they have to win every game, results have to go their way.
Yeah.
They're in 21.
It's been done before.
Again, it's possible, but the thing is, everything goes your way to get that point.
Then you get to finals and you just lose
week
first
1.
game.
You know, now on 22 points, you have the Knights and the Titans. Possible.
Go the Titans.
Look at the Titans, and we'll get in them. They were 0-6 to start the year. Let's just say they win 3-6.
Look what happens when you give coach some time.
If they win 3 of those games, they would be sitting in 5th place.
Insane.
Insane. That's just going 50-50.
It's how close the games have been this year.
If they go 2 from their first 6, they'd be in the top 8.
I love how close the ladder is. It's so exciting.
Me too. But yeah, and now it's now, because of the results, Raiders and Dolphins 9th and 10th, 24th points. And Dragons, like I said, 26. So there is that.
There's a buffer now.
This round went from everyone on the same points. There was like 6 teams on the same to now.
There's a buffer.
We got a buffer.
Go the Dragons. I'm on the Dragons train.
So am I. But again, you know, we're jumping all over the place this episode.
Sorry.
But if you look at the teams that, you know, this is
finals footy.
This is the games back together. And honestly, and I was saying I was feeling really, I think I might have got spiked in my coffee today. You know, and I'm not going to say the company, but they also, not only is it...
It's because you got 3 shots of coffee.
No, but not only is it... But caffeine doesn't affect me.
Well, maybe it does.
But not only is it a coffee shop, but it's also like a crystal shop in healing, and they do like shaman services and stuff.
I think we really need to cater this podcast to just specifically people with ADHD. Just so they can follow us.
You see, that's why I thought Rugby League and the Spectrum was a hilarious idea.
So funny, but we both need to get diagnosed. Or one of us. I think you've got more of a shot.
Sure. So if you look at it, look at the teams that jumped up this year. You know, the Bulldogs, I trust the Bulldogs can win the comp.
Oh, 100%.
I trust the Bulldogs. They have a DNA and they haven't faltered from it. Or
No.
you win, loss, or draw. That's their DNA.
I reckon even though Sharks and Roosters are in the top 4, if they stay in the top 4, I reckon they both lose their first game, and I reckon they've got a chance of. I think they're out.
Well,
I don't know if the Roosters, they're so ill-disciplined, and the Sharks are a toilet team.
They're a toilet team who are somehow top 4.
To somehow, because their start of the season was so good.
But again, and the Sharks, the problem is, yet to see them win a finals game. The Cowboys, somehow, again, that's a crazy, they're somehow 6th, equal with 5th.
And we were like...
Up and down, up and down, up and down. Manly, again,
up and down, up and down.
Dragons,
up and down.
Up and down.
More down than up for the Dragons.
Seriously.
How good would it be if we had a final at Wynn Stadium? Stop. They'd
It
never
wouldn't
happen.
They would have to they'd have to be 5th or 6th. And
But it'd be so cool. Imagine the hill.
it would be awesome.
I'd want to get the Fire Up Dragons fan guy there
Yeah.
on the
Dragons fan.
loudspeaker. It's so funny.
Anyway,
back to the Warriors and the Eels is what we're saying. So SJ is retiring.
Well, that's the big news. Just dropped as of about 10 minutes before we started record. Yeah, SJ officially announced retirement. And again, it's just
hasn't
bittersweet.
had a good season.
No, but it's so bittersweet. Last year, the most loved man in rugby league. This year,
Hates
straight
him.
to the most vilified man. I hate that, and he deserves so much better.
He's had
and if
such
you're
a
one of
great
those people,
career.
like, do better. Do you know what I mean? Just do better. Last year, you were tearing the NRL down for how dare they give it to Kalen Ponga, the Dally M. He's the best in the world. All of a sudden, the Warriors go bad. Literally, the following year, and he needs to retire. He's done. He's 4 injuries. He has his form being the best. No, clearly, the whole fucking club's form hasn't been the best. He's been
It's not
injured
just
a bunch.
him.
And then he comes back this week. Again, guess what? You're out of finals contention before the game. It's not like you were in the top 4 and
No.
you lost as soon as he came back. You are actually losing, just scraping past bottom teams. Then you come up against the Warriors, a sellout crowd, and you lose. Not his fault, not his best year. But like, gee, to the people who are just tearing down, like, get over yourself. And again, the Eels, they might be second last, but
they're a good team. They're a good side.
they're the most shocking of the teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because again, you look at some of those teams, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. The Eels is very much just a poor roster management.
100%.
Because when they were healthy, they were top 4.
It's just a poor club management.
As soon as Moses and
Not
Gutho got hurt, they went from the top 8 to bottom 8.
Then they fired Brad, who they thought
They were top 8 with Brad.
Britha.
They've won 1 game since.
yeah, because they thought that was going to change everything.
Like, that's toilet clubs do what toilet clubs do.
Do.
So, you know.
It's the club, which is a shame.
Because again, you see games like this, that's what they can do.
Yeah, because they've got good people.
got studs.
Dylan Brown, Gutho.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the other news for the Eels is Blaze Taulagi is not confirmed, but could go to the Panthers, which is a big loss.
He's confirmed he's leaving the club. That is locked
He's
in.
confirmed he's leaving the club, which is a big loss for them, I think. But they're getting Lomax, which is a huge win for them. But it'd be interesting to see if he goes to the Panthers. Who does he replace at the Panthers?
Well, the rumour mill, Luai's going, obviously. The rumour
Yeah.
mill is that he's going to play 6.
Really?
That's the rumour mill. You know,
I thought he
in the
was a
NRL,
winger.
he's played fullback, centre, wing. You know, he was going to take Gutho's jersey, apparently. But then he didn't want that. Rumour is he played 6 as a junior. Penrith think that he could be a 6 next to Cleary. Obviously, a great ball running threat. Obviously, Cleary runs the show there.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Again, Penrith, you know, it doesn't matter who. Again, they've turned into a modern Melbourne. It doesn't matter who goes there. And this kid's a stud. Like,
Whoever goes
know.
there turns into just like...
so, again, and it's just crazy that, like, it's hard to explain, but it's just the difference between them and Melbourne is so stark in terms of both teams. Like, it doesn't matter who replaces injured players and stuff. Melbourne have done it for 20 years. Penrith have done it the last 5. It doesn't matter who comes in, do a job, and they just
And they get it done.
The difference is Melbourne have only ever signed, like, our biggest ever name signing at the time was Michael Crocker.
Yeah.
And then the next biggest was fucking 15 years later with Xavier Coates because he'd played like one Origin at a
Xavier
time.
Coates was a bigger signing for you.
only because he played like one Origin at the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But Melbourne have turned him into something else.
But that's the thing. Melbourne, like, do not sign big names. Where
names.
Penrith, get in Talangi. Next big thing. They got Isaiah Papali'i, which
'cause
before going to the Tigers was the best back row in the world.
I know, because Ivan Cleary's like, well, we keep developing all these people and they keep leaving. How come we can't get some good people?
But they're able to sign these fucking big dogs.
Yeah.
So it's just fun. Like, they develop their players, yes, but then they're able and
I reckon
willing
the biggest
to sign.
thing, and to Melbourne, like,
dogs.
I don't know, a lot of people might not want to move to Melbourne.
Oh, obviously, that's the big hindrance.
Yeah.
Again, Penrith. And it's not.
I mean, I wouldn't really want to move to Penrith either.
No, but Penrith have the biggest rugby league nursery. They're like, and again, you can live in Sydney. You don't have to move, but to Melbourne, it's obviously a huge move.
Yeah, it's a big move.
No one around.
And like, if you had the choice to move states, and I lived in New South Wales, I'd be going north, not south.
Yeah, and it depends if you enjoy the fact, like, even fucking Cameron Smith can walk around Melbourne and people don't know who he is.
That's so weird.
Like, when Melbourne were winning the comp every second year, the big three, like, Billy Slater could go shopping. Billy Slater could go
People
about his
didn't
daily
know who
life.
he was.
No, they didn't get stopped. It's
We even
it's
know-
an AFL town.
We even know who the reserve people are in the Dragons.
Yeah. I'm
We
telling, like,
know them at the shops.
yeah, Cameron Munster, it's probably, at least, and you know, nowadays with social media and everything's a bit different, guarantee half the places he goes around, no one knows who he is.
There's no
Or they
way.
might go, do you play footy? Do you play for St Kilda? I don't.
That's no way, though.
Yeah. But it's AFL. An AFL player is going to get stopped everywhere. But it's Melbourne. It's like if Perth had get an NRL team, Nathan Cleary could sign with them. Most people aren't going to know who he is. They might go, oh, do you play footy? Oh, cool.
There's no
Do
way.
you play for Fremantle? I don't. Nat 5? Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Some people like that. Some people don't like that.
I suppose I wouldn't know an AFL player if they walked into the shops here.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah.
So I wouldn't know
It's
who
the same
they
thing.
are.
But, like, again, NRL plays here.
I know
as you
some
said.
of the Swans people, but see, it's like if the Swans people walk, like some of them, I'd know some of them. I know like the most famous ones. So surely, if you live in Melbourne, like in Melbourne, you would know the most famous Melbourne players.
Yeah, but again, you might know of them, but you're not. Most people aren't going to ask for a picture or say hello or stop.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean, you went to school with Zach Lomax. If you see Zach Lomax, it's like, that's Lomax.
I know.
But again, Melbourne, Cameron Munster could walk by us and it's like,
So weird.
again, if you do you play for St Kilda, I don't care otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, this is a
next
stinker.
game.
Next game, the Dolphins narrowly go down to the Roosters, 34-40, 74
Such a
points
high
scored in 80
scoring
minutes.
game. Terrible defense, both teams.
Oh, stinker.
Terrible
Defense took a
defense.
night off. Like, in one hand, look, again, Dolphins never say never. So they never die. It's great for the Dolphins. Roosters, you go, well, we know you can score points, but it is a little worrying that
How
you let in
many
34.
you fucking let in? And the other thing, it's just their discipline. What let in all those points? The week before, who did they play? The week before, they let in 3 intercept tries. That was the only
against
thing
Manly.
that kept Manly in the game. 3. And then this week, they let 34 points into the Dolphins. One of them was a full field try where Hammer had to run through so many people. And it's just their discipline. They kept giving away penalty after penalty.
They're very ill.
So it's embarrassing. Get it together.
Yeah.
Don't even want to wear my scarf.
Yeah. Haven't won a
It's like you're just playing good footy. It's like, but it's annoying because it's not like they're playing bad footy. They're playing good footy. They're just so ill-disciplined. It's very frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
But this was a game I was nervous where the Dolphins were going to win because it's a game I thought they shouldn't have won. So therefore they do, and they got very close.
They got very close. Again, I hope the Dolphins can make finals.
I hope so.
But
Second year in the comp's awesome.
Melbourne won the comp in their second year in the comp. But
Which is-
no one wants to bring that up.
Okay, well, you do, clearly.
Well, it was a very famous victory.
Okay, you're steering off topic again. We're on the...
Next game, Titans defeat the Broncos.
That's all you have to say about that game.
I got almost 30 minutes of it. I said everything. Again,
Okay.
Dolphins never say never. And the Roosters can score points. Again, right now, what you need to see from the Dolphins, you've seen everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd love the defense to tighten up, but they've stuck with their DNA is that they don't give up.
No.
Because at one point they were down 3 tries and
They
all of
were.
a sudden clawed the way
Yeah.
back. The Roosters, on the other hand, they can score 40, 50, 60 points. You know that.
But they'll let in 40, 50, 60 points.
We've seen it, but until the question mark with the Roosters is until they beat Melbourne or Penrith,
They're
you're not going to win the comp.
No.
Because Melbourne, you're going to have to verse one of them.
And Melbourne and Penrith are just so well disciplined that they make us pay, where any other team doesn't really make us pay as much as they do. And Melbourne and Penrith know exactly what we do as well.
I think the absolute best case scenario for the Roosters is that somehow...
We get fifth.
Honestly, it might be... you might be a tactical... You're going to have to verse one of them regardless. But your best case scenario is Melbourne and Penrith versus each other.
If we can get second.
I think you have to get fifth.
Or fifth or second.
Oh, Melbourne, Roosters' best case scenario is Melbourne and Penrith play week 1.
Yeah.
And just bash the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
One of them's going to get the week off.
Yeah. One other one's not.
You almost then want to verse that one.
Yeah. After
because then you're flipped off from the other.
Anyway.
The math in my head's hard, but honestly, it's like the Sharks. Until the Sharks win a finals game, that's the question mark.
Oh.
Until the Roosters can beat those two.
They can't win the comp.
Again, in no scenario will
win?
Melbourne and Penrith, will you not have to beat one of them? Even if neither of those teams make the grand final, at some point you're going to have to beat one
of them.
There's just that's impossible to avoid.
I'm on for a Dogs Dragons grand final.
Oh, could
you imagine?
Oh my god.
So good.
Belmore would explode.
Be so good.
Belmore beat the Raiders and it's that's something I never understood. You see, again, this is a stinker of an episode. It is. We're going to call it jambalaya. It is all over the place.
I think it's good, though.
Oh, it's the best one we've ever done. So, gang's back together. But you see, after the Belmore game and every single game, if a team has suburban ground, it should be played there. Every Tigers game should be played, every home game, at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Every Dragons game should be played at WIN Stadium. Every Bulldogs game should be played at Belmore.
Yeah.
Play it at the heartland of your club, where you will pack out. It doesn't matter if your stadium only fits 10,000. You will get 10,000. You'll get 5,000 more on the street. You'll get people climbing the fences. It just build that culture.
And no matter where you are on the ladder, people will come.
Yeah, but instead of having a fucking, 15th versus 16th Bulldogs Rabbitohs game in an 80,000 seat at Core Stadium where you get 5,000 people to show up and then go, well, why is no one showing up to rugby league games? I don't know, bro. You're making 2 toilet teams and their fans drive to the middle of Homebush where there's nothing to watch, where you're 50 metres away from the field. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Meanwhile,
you could go to Belmore Sports Stadium, which from all accounts seems to be in a fucking tip, with a train station running by. It's the only rugby league field with a train station, running directly behind it.
Oh, I nearly got this margin right from the Dolphins and Roosters. I said Roosters by 8, we won by 6.
That's awfully quick from you. I said 2, so I was pretty close.
I was pretty close. All right, next game.
Oh, I'm talking still. But what I'm saying is, do you see the footage of so they won Belmont and stuff, and all the hooning in Belmont after the game?
Yeah.
Well, don't shut down on me now, but
I'm not. I saw it. I was trying to remember, but I did.
Yeah, the people driving the cars.
Yeah, I did.
It just reminds me of the stupidest thing I think in the world is when a country or a sports team or a city or something does something great and your sports team wins.
Yeah.
Or your country wins a gold medal. Or, you just pass gay marriage, right? Something great happens to your town, city, whatever. And then the fans' reaction is to then destroy their own city.
Yeah.
I think it's the fucking stupidest thing on the planet. I've never understood it in my entire life. That right there, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Identity.
It's fucking stupid. You won the game, and then you're just gonna hoon in your own city. Or America's the worst for it.
Can I ding you? Ding.
No, but you'll make it. You ever seen Cleveland 52 years
I got
wins
it.
the drought?
I think everyone's got it.
And then they destroy their own city.
All right. Titans and Broncos, which is the most shocking scoreline of the round for me. I thought the Titans were going to win. I did not think that they were going to win 46-18.
Why?
Because I think the Broncos had a lot more to play for. I know they had Payne Haas go down in the warm-up.
1 week earlier, they lost 41-16 to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I know, but it's the Titans. And I thought they I didn't think they could lose by that amount 2 weeks in a row. I thought they'd have something a little bit more to play for. And I know Ezra Mann went down as well, which wouldn't have helped. But 46-18, go the Titans.
Yeah, well, Payne Haas and Ezra Mann seemingly out for the season. Now, with Liz Frank and since most injury, which sucks, but yeah, Titans, again, the Titans, they've won like 5 of the last 6.
They're on a roll.
They are on a roll. So, no, I didn't expect the scoreline to be that bad. And again, it was 18-10 at halftime for the Broncos.
Worried, yeah.
But, I mean, the Titans really are a team, and I've never seen one like them where if they score the first 2 tries, they will lose. They'll get pumped.
Yeah.
They'll get fucking smoked.
That's what happened against Manly.
It's happened about 6 times this year. If they let in the first 2 tries, which I think has happened 3 or 4 times this year, they win every single time. Again, it was 12-0 after 12 minutes. It ends 46-18. Jojo Fafita with one of the best, the best performance of his career.
So good.
But one of the best tap back performances I've ever seen in my life. He got like 3 try assists from 3 attempts, tapping it back. So many times you see people when they should catch it, they try to tap back or they just fuck it up. It was perfect every time. It was incredible.
It was so good.
Like showing you that a simple skill is simple.
Yeah.
Did excellent. The Titans can make the finals. They can make a push. Again, as we touched on, it's just such a shame that their season started so bad.
So bad.
Again, they go 50% in those first 6. They're in the top 5.
Just so disappointed in the Broncos. It's another team that just second-year syndrome.
Yeah. Shoots all the way up. And their problem is they play like a team who thinks they deserve points and deserve wins instead of having to earn them. They don't play defense. They don't play together. They just play as individuals trying to score points, trying to play flashy.
Yeah. You're not playing park footy anymore.
No, it's why I thought they'd lose in Adam Reynolds' return game. Now, they got up for 1 game, but the last 2 games shows my logic. His return doesn't improve that side of the game.
No. Because even when he was there at the beginning of the season, they still had the exact same struggles.
No.
They couldn't score in their own 20.
Yeah, and he obviously brings class and leadership, and he might improve the attack, but he's not improving the tough stuff. He's not improving the want, the will, the drive.
That's on them.
It's their identity, and this is what happens when you play that way. But yeah, super disappointing.
Yeah.
The Storm lose to the Dragons in the next game, 16-18. The Dragons break a 25-year streak, not winning in Melbourne. But look, in one hand, it's disappointing, but the other hand, I actually think it's an incredibly shrewd move by Melbourne. I think it's a tactical loss.
I think Melbourne needed a loss before going into finals.
You never ever want to go into finals on a big winning streak. And not this week, but next round we're versing Penrith. So there's a good chance we lose that game. But
you need a little bit of fire in your belly. And it's like they've been winning games, but it's like they've been winning against good teams like Penrith, 8-0. Roosters had a great game.
Yeah, but that was round 1.
No, but like the last time they played the Roosters, they had a great game. But they've been playing a lot to their opponent. And it's like finally someone's got them. The Dragons have got them. And I feel like it'll just be a little fire in there.
Yeah, well, we've been scraping. Yeah. We've been playing bad, but getting wins. And we're on like a 6 or 7 game winning streak. I guess still, I am, that's the worst thing about being a Melbourne fan is that you never get talked about and they never ever get respect. We've been top of the ladder the whole year, but all I've heard is that Penrith are undeniable. Unbeatable. They just scraped by the fucking Knights. They just scraped by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Since Cleary's return. Again, Cleary, that game was quiet for 79 minutes and excellent for
1 minute. It was like the grand final last year.
He
quiet
played
for
a
60,
stinker for 60, excellent for 20.
And then...
But his first game back, he's the best half in the world. It's undeniable. Give him the New South Wales badge.
I mean, and he's fantastic. But it's like...
The hyperbole. Penrith are still second. They're not undeniable. You can call them favourites, but Jesus Christ, can you give Melbourne one bit of credit? Do you know, since 2021, how many games the Melbourne spine has started together?
4.
Well, now you ruin the stat. That's a terrible guess. Since 2021, you think the Melbourne Spine has played 4 games together?
Fine, 14.
Close, 13 times. They've played 5 this year together.
Yeah.
But in 4 years,
they've only played...
Our starting Spine's played 13 games.
It's crazy.
11-2 now in that thing. It's incredible. But, as usual, the little battler down south gets no respect, no credit, best sporting organisation. Anyway, we've all been over it. We all know it. But this was obviously the grand final rematch from 1999. The most important grand final. And it was the most controversial. You know how it ended?
No.
It ended in an 8-point try to Melbourne, and that's what won them the game.
Really?
Because it was a crossfield kick. Melbourne player went up, caught it, and gets knocked out as he's putting the ball down. So he doesn't score, but he got knocked out in the action.
Of scoring. So it's a penalty try.
It's a penalty try, and back then that was 2 conversions, so 8 points, we won by 2 points. Game ended like 2 minutes later. Melbourne win.
But I think that's fair.
Oh, it was fair. It was just controversial because you hadn't seen it before, especially you hadn't seen it in a grand final before.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, they don't do that. Dragons win the game.
Crazy.
But anyway, this game, as I said, it's tough. We're leading the comp, but as I said, we've not been playing great football. We've just been lucky to get wins. We were due a loss. And also, again, you saw 2020, Penrith came into the finals, I believe, on like a 15-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Got to the grand final, got pumped.
Yeah. You don't want to...
2021, Melbourne were on the second biggest winning streak in history.
They were.
It was 19 games, got to the prelim final against Penrith, got pumped. You because it just adds this extra level of pressure and expectation.
Well, it's like when the Roosters too went on that run a couple years ago when everyone thought they were out of finals and then won.
Well, that was last year, but that was different because those two teams were winning the comp. The Roosters. The problem with Roosters is they had to work so hard to make it. They got there.
Then they got pumped.
No, they lost by Melbourne by 2 points by Will Warbrick.
No, I'm talking about 2 years before that. They've done it for the last couple years.
Last year was their huge one, though.
Their huge one, though, was last year.
But yeah, no, you're right. They haven't timed their... Yes, you're right. Yes. But anyway, so again, I didn't get to watch this game, but I'm not shocked. And that's because that's what Dragons do. An awesome win for them. I hope they can keep the momentum.
Hopefully.
But again, if they were to play the Tigers next week and lose 40-0...
Wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be the fucking Dragons. It would just be what they do.
Yeah.
It's just what they do.
Because they look so good and then they look so bad.
Again, and it's... Penrith. They could have beaten Penrith.
Like they scored 18 points against Melbourne, but could only barely score 12 points against the Roosters. Like it's just...
Yeah. So, awesome win for the Dragons, for Melbourne. I think
it's
worried.
a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
They have such a big buffer as well.
Well, now it's only 2 points, but we're locked into top 4.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's tough to think where, again, us buying in 4 years, with all the money, the whole club's built behind, played 13 games in 4 years.
I can just see it getting unlocked in finals, and then guys getting just
We've never had the chance to, like, they've never just got 1 year or just 10 games where they've got to gel. So even though it's so good on paper, it's still so clunky.
Yeah.
Because they just haven't got the chance. So anyway, I'm not concerned. Next game, Sharks defeat the Rabbitohs.
Bit of a silly bet from me. But I'm good to see the Sharks win.
Yeah, good to see them get a win. Again,
what was the score?
We disrespect them an awful lot, 20-6, but full credit to them. They're still top 4.
They're still top 4.
So you can't really take anything away from them. But yeah, Rabbitohs, toilet team. Who predicted that they were going to miss the top 8? Oh, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
And who at the start of the year was predicting they were going to win the comp? The Professionals. So I'm just awfully confused about that scale. We're sitting here for fucking free.
We're paying to be here.
Well, one of us is paying to be here. I won't say which. I'm sure you can guess.
Well, one of us is paying for KO to watch the game, so I think it's pretty even.
And then one of us watches those games. So again, I won't say which one's which. Guess for your own. But no, I had better things to do on my Saturday night than watch this game. Sunday, the Panthers defeat the Knights 22-14. Close game. Again, unfortunately, didn't get to watch a minute of it. But from all accounts, Knights played good, except for their fifth tackle options, which remains the most boring and bland fifth tackle option in the comp, where they just kick it and don't contest it and don't actually try to catch it. They don't try to score.
They're taking a leap out of Drew Hutchinson's book.
Honest to Christ, if they sign him next year, I will not be shocked. He would fit like a glove. Again, who would have thought that, it just, last year, look at the streak they've gone. Then this year, they decide to change their halves pairing every 3 games.
It's stupid. So what's the coach doing?
Phoenix Crossan was your starting halfback this game. Tyson Gamble is your starting 6, who you only just brought back 2 games ago, who you started the season with, then dropped him after 3 games. And, they dropped Cogger, they dropped Hastings to start with, and they dropped Cogger the next 3 weeks, and then they dropped Gamble, and they just keep rotating. And now you've got your hooker from last year, who was the most improved in the comp, who then you decided to immediately put on the bench for your guy who's had 3 ACLs and an Achilles in a row. And then you drop him to 14, put Phoenix at 9, and then now you put him at 7. It just...
So really, the Knights could have won the comp if it wasn't for bad management.
Honestly.
So therefore, your tip was correct.
Get Adam on the fucking phone because he owes me 16 big ones. Like...
It's your biggest bet you've put on too. Normally it's just $2.
Well, it got to $2 once they started losing so much. But yeah, and then Penrith,
Penrith.
In the words of the people that get paid, the greatest organisation in the history of the comp and the world, and they're winning the comp. So good to see.
Gone for a 4-peat. And
again, they are the favourites.
They're
the team to beat. Like you can't deny it.
I just think they're a lot more beatable than they ever have been.
Yeah, which no one wants to talk about.
This year, they're definitely beatable.
Whether people do
like
or
last
not.
year, even if they had a reserve team, there was no way a reserve team... a team was even beating their reserve team, let alone the Dragons beating their reserve team. So I definitely think they're beatable.
Crazy to think there's only... Can you guess the 2 teams this year who have beat both Melbourne and Penrith?
The Dragons.
Well, yep, obviously. Who's the other one?
Eels.
No.
Raiders.
No. Can't think of all the good teams.
Tigers.
The 2 teams...
Titans.
No.
Cows.
No.
Broncos.
No.
Raiders.
No.
Sharks.
No.
Dolphins.
No.
Manly.
Yes.
Yes, got it.
12th try. So, yes, Manly and the Dragons are the fucking 2 teams that beat them both this year.
That's so funny.
So if that doesn't tell you that they're beatable, I don't know what does. Whether anyone does, anyone's guess. But anyway, moving on to the last game. The Bulldogs defeat the Raiders 22-18. Great game.
Go the Dogs.
Got to watch most of it. Again, play at Belmore. Look at the atmosphere. Look at the crowd. Look at the intensity. Full credit to Raiders. Shows it's just such a shame that Fogarty was out for so long.
Yeah.
Now, they did admirably in his absence, but...
What they could have done if he wasn't absent. He could have been another top 8 team.
Oh, they could have pushed the top 4. They shook everyone at the start of the year. His game has just gone to another level
He's
this year.
just such a nugget. He doesn't look like a 7
brick
at all.
Shithouse. But yeah, they played great. The Bulldogs, again, Crichton, all class.
So
Adokar, all class.
So good.
They just have their identity and they've played to it all year.
Yeah.
So, great game. I
loved it.
Yeah, short on notes this week, but...
Oh, Big Red's leaving the Raiders. That was our news.
That's another thing. Big Red, Corey Horsburgh. Again, he plays Origin last year. This year, he's played 2 NRL games.
It's crazy.
He's battled injuries, but from all accounts,
he's
also...
caused a punch-up in reserve grade.
Yeah. He's battled injuries, but from all accounts, he's also battled Ricky Stewart. They're not getting on. Again, he's having a fucking fight the Warriors, New South Wales Cup team. Dragons, no surprise, are the apparent favourites, just like they are every single person.
Can I ask you a question? Do the New South Wales Cup teams play the Queensland Cup teams?
On grand final day, the winner of New South Wales Cup versus the winner of Queensland Cup.
Play.
So no, New South Wales Cup is its own competition and Queensland Cup is its own competition.
Right. Okay.
So you have a winner of each one.
So it's like NBA, Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
Basically. And then I think it's New South Wales Rugby League this year. The Warriors are included in that.
Yeah.
And there's talks of getting a Fiji team included in that. And in Queensland Cup, there's a PNG team in there.
Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, keep going about the Raiders, sorry.
Yeah, and they're all the feeder teams. Yeah, but yeah, Big Red, again, the Dragons, again, just like they are with Val Holmes, just like they are with Stefano, just like they are with Joey Manu, just like they are with every single person, they're the favourites, they're the front runners.
Yeah.
Almost positive he won't sign with them because that's also the other side of the story. I hope they do. He'd be great for him. An explosive front rower, Big Red in the red V. Mm-hmm. I mean, the marketing writes itself.
So good.
And he is a Shane Flanagan character.
He is.
He's a Ricky Stewart guy, which is a shame that clearly
Yeah.
that's ended bad. But again, that's what happens when you have two fucking hotheads,
Heads.
which is what Ricky is. Shane Flanagan, they're cut from the same cloth. The Dragons
Big
this
red
year,
in the red V. That is just marketing plus.
seriously. It writes itself. The NRL should almost pay the fee. Like, it just get him there.
Yeah.
So I hope he signs there. Could you imagine if they get him and Val? Imagine if they get Lomax to backflip. You know.
Cookie.
They're getting Cookie.
They're getting Cookie.
You know.
Joey Manu fullback.
Imagine, Manu comes back from Japanese rugby. I mean, it's all starting at Swaliti, backflips on the Wallabies. I mean, it's all starting to come together for the Dragons.
It's all up Dragons.
I might put 100 on them to win the comp next year. But yeah, looking ahead with an eye to the future, next week now, again, we do not have team list as of now.
So, subject to change on our Instagram post.
So shooting blanks, but heading into this week, I've clawed back one. I'm only down 6.
Close,
So
really close.
The comeback is on. But the only issue with that is as you get closer to the end, it gets a bit more hard to tip the underdog. But the good thing about this year is you can.
You can.
So game 1, Thursday night, the Rabbitohs hosting the Storm. I'm going Storm.
Storm.
I think that one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The next game, Titans taking on the Sharks on the Gold Coast. This one is a toss-up for me.
I really don't know.
I don't know. My instinct said Sharks. The more I thought about I've gone Titans.
My instinct said Titans. The more I think about it, Sharks. Because the Titans are on a roll. But when does the roll end? Because they're also the Titans. But the Sharks are also the Sharks. So I've got no idea. Right now I've tipped Titans. But that could change.
I was right. They have won 5 of their last 6 games.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. Again, the only game they lost was when they were leading 8-0 after 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
if the Titans are up early, I'm stopping
if they
the
score
game.
the first 2 tries,
I'm going to cry.
The game's off.
The
game's off. However, if it's 20-0 for the Sharks, well, hang on a minute. They can get this. They already beat them once this year. They've hit crazy form. Interesting stat, they haven't beat the Sharks on the Gold Coast since 2017. Sharks have won 9 of their last 10 against the Titans.
Yeah.
Wow, the Titans have won 4 of the last 5 games at home. They've really changed that. I remember game 1 this year when they got pumped by the Dragons, who then got pumped by the Dolphins the next week. So the Dragons started their season off the way they're finishing it. But look, I'm going Titans. No Trindle, apparently, as well.
Yeah.
The Sharks.
Okay. And Hines is still out.
Yep.
Okay.
I think you should go Sharks.
No, I'm going Titans.
Next game, again.
I don't know.
It sounds crazy. Look at this year, but the Eels taking on Penrith
the Eels
at CommBank.
always get up for Penrith. I don't know.
They love winning against Penrith.
I think they'll take a lot of confidence. But was that their game to end the season? You know? Sorry. Was that the game to end the season?
Yeah.
Like, did they have one win left in them?
That's weird. That sounds... Who gave you that little nugget?
You.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm not that draining, apparently.
No.
You listen.
I do listen.
But yeah, look, I agree on that. That is my concern. I mean, there's a lot telling me to tip them. They always get up for Penrith. It doesn't even matter if it's a game for nothing. They get up.
They'll get up for Penrith.
It's a rivalry. They just have the
Battle
formula.
of the West.
Yeah, they have the formula to beat Penrith. It's just like how they always get up for Melbourne. But
I think I'm going to tip the Eels. I need a big underdog this week. I think I'm going to tip the Eels.
I'm just, as you mentioned, I'm just concerned that last week was I'm concerned that was their win. To say that we're at the bottom, but we're not shit.
I'm sticking Penrith, and I'm going to wait for the team lists. I'm going to keep Penrith.
I don't think team list will show you anything, but
I'm just going to give a bit more time.
Yeah, I'm
make my final answer.
I'm tipping smart, so I'm going to go Penrith, but I think you should stick with your underdog pick. You said it yourself. You need a big underdog.
Oh, but it would just be so good if they won.
It would be good.
But I can also see it being 60-0.
Trust your gut. That's all I'll say. Okay. The next game, Raiders take on Manly. I'm tipping Raiders in a close one.
I'm going Manly by 6.
I'm tipping Raiders in a close one.
Manly coming off a bye.
At Canberra. I'm all laid back. Smithy's unlikely. Raiders have found their mojo back. They've found their DNA back.
They have.
I think Raiders
so have Manly. Manly have been playing well.
Are Manly a team that only wins at home?
I don't think so.
Are they a 4 p.m. Brookvale Oval team?
I think they are. Oh, but Jason Saab's still out.
That is my concern.
Oh,
with
Ruben
them.
Garrick. Oh, no, wait. Is this round 23?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Garrick, Ola Kawatu, Jason Saab. They could all be back. All right, I'm going to stick with Manly for now, and I'm going to confirm when I get team lists.
Oh, I'm going Raiders. Next game, Cowboys take on the Broncos. It'll be no Haas and no Ezra.
I'm going Cows.
Cotter back. I'm going Cows.
I'm going Cows. Even without those injuries, I think I'm still going Cows.
Yeah, I'm going Cows. They got too much to play for, but again, would I be shocked if Broncos cause the upset? No, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I'm going the Cowboys. This is a great game. Saturday, 7:35. The Dragons host the Bulldogs. Who would have thought at the start of the year? This is 8th versus 5th.
Oh, right.
One game separating them.
That's insane.
You know, Bulldogs win, they can be top 4.
Yeah.
Dragons win, they could be top 5.
Yeah.
I would love if this was at Wollongong. I think they'll get a bigger crowd.
I'd be
at
going
Cogra.
if I was at Wollongong.
The Cogra factor, like, I know it's not real, but it is so real. Like, it is real to a point.
I don't know if Dragons can beat... I don't think they can beat Melbourne and then go and beat the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs are red hot at the moment.
I just haven't seen the Dragons this year put back-to-back impressive performances. I've seen them do so many times this year, have one awesome game, and you think they found it, and then next week they lose.
No, I'm going Dogs.
So I've got to go Bulldogs. I want Dragons to win. I'm going Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Next game, this is another one. The Dolphins hosting the Warriors at Suncorp.
See.
I'm going the Warriors.
Issue. Game the Dolphins should smash. Therefore, they lose. I've tipped the Dolphins, but I'm subject to change.
Both have to win. I know Warriors the underdog, but it just feels like the game they'll win.
It does.
If this was New Zealand sold out stadium, nah, Dolphins all day.
SJ
Dolphins 13 plus. But
SJ retiring too.
SJ retirement, give them something. They know they have to win every game. So the Dolphins, I think it's high scoring and a close game.
Subject to change. I'm going Dolphins for the time being.
Dolphins never say die. I just have a feeling about the Warriors. I just think this is the type of game that they win.
Yeah.
And to finish it off,
Ugh.
sadly, not sadly, but it's far from a sure thing. And guarantee it'll be sold at McDonald Jones. The Knights hosting the Tigers. I'm going the Knights, but I honestly don't know. The Tigers, Caesar should be back.
I'm going the Knights.
Honestly, it's round 23. I cannot tell you with confidence who the halves will be for the Knights. And they're all healthy.
I know.
There's a lot.
This is a game the Tigers can win too.
And again, the Tigers have not been playing bad. They're just ill-disciplined.
I'm going Tigers. I'm making the change. I'm going Tigers. Anytime I tip the Tigers this year, they've won. My 2 times that I've tipped them.
They've got to be due a win.
But Alex Twel's not in.
Oh, that's a lot of points gone. Form guide is pretty sad to look at for both teams. Knights are off the back of 3 straight losses. Tigers are on the back of at least 5. This is...
Oh, Xavier Coast could be back for Melbourne.
That's good.
And Joe Chan.
Wins at this venue. Tigers are 9 from 20 at McDonald Jones. The fucking Knights only have 54% at the home ground.
I know, that's terrible. John, just looking at the injury list, it's crazy. The Rabbitohs have so many people out next season. Tavita Tatola, Isaiah Tass, Alex Johnson, Lachlan Ilias, Campbell Graham, Jai Arrow. That's a lot of big names out for the season. That's insane. But anyway, I'm going Tigers.
Knights have only won 2 of their last 6 games at home.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Go.
going Knights for now, but I could be joining you on the Tigers. They can win that game.
Wow.
I don't know.
Eagles have a lot of people out next season too. But yeah, go the Tigers.
So, again, subject to change, but to review, Rabbitohs versus Storm. Titans versus Sharks. Titans. Eels versus Penrith. Raiders versus Manly.
Subject to change, Manly.
Raiders. Cowboys versus Broncos.
Cows.
Dragons versus Dogs.
Dogs.
Dolphins versus Warriors.
Subject to change, Dolphins.
You don't have to say that every time. Warriors. Knights versus Tigers.
Tigers.
Knights. It's because I said that these were subject to change the first at the start.
Just a recap.
So it's just like if you got the fat out of your ears and listen to someone else other than yourself.
Speaking of listening, what's our listener question this week?
Look at that, the gang is back. So this could be interesting. There's a few heads could roll this game. Or I just give up on football altogether. So it is a lot on the line. A listener question this week. Thanks for asking. Again, I'm not sure if people are understanding the process, but there is just a link in each episode description. You click that, it will take you straight there. It is helpful if you put your name to it. You can send us literally whatever you want, football or related or not. I don't actually care. Again, this one is anonymous. I could take a guess at who it is. I honestly don't have an answer for it. The listener question this week is your way too early top 8 prediction for next year. I mean, talk about a crapshoot. It's hard to even think of one. If I was to go, it's hard to think. Right now, top 8 next year. You can lock in Melbourne. You can lock in Penrith.
I lock in Roosters.
I would lock in Roosters.
Because somehow they still make the 8.
Can't lock in top 4, but can lock in top 8.
Can lock in the top 8.
Sharks haven't won finals. They keep making
finals. They keep making the finals.
So
do you know who I'm going to lock in? Raiders.
Okay, well, so I think the top 4 from this year remains in the top 8 next year. I'll lock in that.
I think so.
Bulldogs,
I think so.
No,
Or second year syndrome.
Second year syndrome. So I want the Bulldogs to make the 8. I can't lock them in.
No.
Look what happened to every single team.
I know. Okay, so maybe I'm not locking in.
So if we go right now, Storm, Penrith, Roosters, Sharks. Yeah, I think we both agree they're in next year.
Yeah.
The bottom 4 of the top 8 this year is the Bulldogs, Cows, Manly, and Dragons. I can't lock in any of those teams. I think Bulldogs can win the comp this year. I can't. I am more confident in the Bulldogs winning the comp this year than I am them making the top 8 next year. How weird is that?
Do you know who I see? I think the Raiders have potential. I think the Titans have potential. And I think the Tigers have potential.
But see, you keep saying that. I think, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying you keep saying these teams have potential, but Titans have had potential for 20 years, or since 2007.
I know, but they got Des now.
I think Titans make the top 8 next year.
Yeah, I think
Titans. But I thought they'd make it this year.
I can also see the Eels making the top 8.
So top 4 in, I'm locking in Dragons and Titans next year. Dragons and Titans. Dragons, Titans. Canberra.
Yeah.
Dragons, Titans, Canberra. And I think Tigers will improve. I don't think they make the 8 next year. Eels. See, you go, Rabbitohs will improve. I don't think they make the 8. Broncos, you've seen what they can do. Warriors, you've seen what they can do. Knights, you see what they can do. Knights, I don't trust. I don't.
No.
It's round 23. You don't know what their halves are going to be. So I don't. I mean, this is such a crapshoot. I don't know why I'm thinking about it so much. And to me, it's between Manly or the Cowboys. Fully healthy, I lock in Manly. So my top 8 next year in no order would be Storm, Penrith, Roosters, Sharks, Manly, Dragons, Titans, Raiders.
My top 8 are Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Sharks. I'm going to lock in Titans. I'm going to lock in the Eels. I'm going to lock in the Rabbitohs and Manly.
All right, so next year, what's on the line here? Who's more right?
If I'm right, you have to dye your hair black.
Okay.
If you're right, you pay for my next hairdresser appointment.
So if I lose, I have to dye my hair black, and if I win, I have to pay for your hairdressing appointment.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not doing anything.
I'm not sure if you understand.
I know, I understand, but I'm not doing anything with my hair. You don't get it. I'm a girl.
So
I'm not doing anything with my hair.
I'm not sure if you understand how these things work. At no point does it have to be about your hair. But I don't understand how my reward for winning would be to pay for you.
Okay, fine. So you think of my punishment, but it cannot be to do with my hair. But yours is you're going to dye your hair.
Again, I would just absolutely love to clarify with you. I'm not sure if you were listening last night. In no point...
I know, but I said I wanted to do something with your hair.
Yeah.
So therefore, I thought you would want to do something with my hair, but I'm telling you can't touch my hair.
No, and again, and I'm sure the listeners agree. We've all heard you. You actually haven't given me a chance to speak.
Okay, well, go, speak.
I'll take a leaf out of your book. I'd love for you to not fart in front of me.
I don't. So, it's fine.
So again, I love having the gang back together again. Your punishment would be an all expenses trip you're paying obviously to
No, that's
Europe, an all expenses paid European summer.
No, because no. It's not happening because
Well, I'll tell you right now, you're not doing anything to my hair.
It has to be similar.
My barber won't like that.
You don't go to one.
Is this what you meant to say? You're your own barber.
You're your own barber.
I'm trying to show people that I'm more than just a
Yeah,
really hot and successful rugby league analyst.
That likes to fiddle with himself on camera.
It's not intentional. Well, anyway, it's TBA. So, look, thanks for joining us. Can't promise if the co-host will be here next week. We've all got priorities. Hers, unfortunately, do not put this up the top. I'll try my best not to fiddle with myself. And have a great week. See you next week.
Bye.